Alright, hey guys, I just want to go over Noryette here. This is the Noryette dungeon. The 5-man dungeon, there are 50 levels in it. Every 5 levels is a boss. And this is how you get your rings and earrings. Also, at level 45 and 50, you can start getting the Lunafrost. And these are special Lunafrosts that you can put onto your library gear. Alright, so in order to be successful in this dungeon, you need 3 key things. First, you need a mage with Wave Meteor. Second, you need to have a healer with charms and songs. And then third, you need to have a melee that can pull. Alright, so here's the spec that I'm running for the dungeon. Now, this isn't like the very best spec possible. This spec right here is actually designed for AoE pulling, mob grinding. If I want to do max damage in Noria, I'd either play Fnatic or Spectre. However, this spec, it does get me by for now because we're not pushing high levels, with having like lower end gear. Alright, so next I want to go over what I mean by charms. So there's two types of charms in the game. And one comes from your Startling Strain, and the other one comes from Dissidence. Now, if you also spec into Stone healing him, this gives you the same version of charm as your Startling Strain. It's just this is single target, whereas this is AoE. Alright, so if you mouse over your 4 songs, your defense song, healing song, bloody chant, your DPS song, and then quick step, which is your movement speed song. Alright, so first off, we're going to start off with the most important charm, your defense one. If you're already playing a defense song, and you use the first charm, which if you look at the icons right there, it matches up with this one, and also you're stone healing him. If you're playing the defense song and you hit them with Startling Strain or stone healing him, it reduces their physical and magic defense by 50%. And this one's huge. This is how we're able to kill things so fast. Next, the Bloody Chanty, it reduces their skill damage by 20%. I mean, it's nice, but then again, it's not like the greatest thing, for Nori. But still, while you're playing Bloody Chanty, you do give a big attack boost to your teammates. Then healing him, it does continuous damage to him. And then this one, it actually slows them. Now, the other debuff, like the other icon that's on here, and that one is from Dissidence. And going back over them, this one reduces their defense penetration by 10%. Not that great for Nori, but it's just another debuff. This one reduces their accuracy. The healing one reduces their max health. This one's actually usable or worth anything inside of Nori. And this one reduces their attack speed. So, basically, what the healer's doing is as the meteor is about to connect, he's using stone healing him. And stone healing him has a small travel time, so the healer's relatively close, so he can time it better. And the goal is to have the stone healing him connect at the beginning of the meteors. He's already playing all 4 songs, so it's applying all the debuffs on the target. And you can actually use Startling Strain, stone healing him, and Dissidence, all while you're already playing the song. So you just play all 4 songs, get up to the target, stone healing him. Then after the stone healing him falls off, you go into Startling Strain. You can also use your Dissidence after stone healing him too. But the primary goal here is your defense song for their defense reduction, Bloody Chanty for boosting up your allies' damage. And then make sure you hit it. You don't want to do it too early. You just want to make sure they get CC'd so mobs don't go crazy and start running around everywhere. So that's basically the primary goal of the healer. There's a couple more mechanics for healers. I can go over some of them a little bit later on as we get through the dungeon. But, I mean, that's pretty much it. But as a healer, you're mostly just singing songs and charming. Your healing output isn't really needed. Your off healing, if the mobs are CC'd and they die properly, you really won't be needing to do any heals. Alright, and lastly, here is the melee spec. Now, the role of the mage and the role of a healer is quite simple. But a lot of the execution of how to make everything smooth relies on your melee. And you'll have a lot of people that they play Darker and that's what they're used to, and they come in here. Unfortunately, especially if they're the only melee, they need to respec. The Blood Reaver is the best spec for this. There's a couple of reasons why. The Blood Reaver has so much CC. It can be the only CC in there. Flame Hail Spears. A lot of people don't understand what Flame Hail Spears are, but it is really good and makes the entire thing very smooth, where it lines up perfectly CC'd. So me with 0 cast time, my Wave Meteor is about 3 seconds. That's with Mana Fountain up. And then Hell Spear, it has a 2-second delay. So basically early in my cast, that's when you want to use your Flame Hail Spear. And then right as my meteor is about to land, then you Vicious Implosion, and everything should be coming together all at once. So that's whenever your Flame Hail Spear connects, your Vicious Implosion connects, and the Meteor Start connects along with the Charm. If all of these things go perfectly, Noria should be very easy. But even after, like, the Hell Spear, you can go into a Tiger Strike, which causes a trip. You can go in multiple forms of CC. But we'll go into the videos, and we'll kind of like focus mostly on the melee in them. Alright, so here's wave 5. This is the first boss pool. Quite easy. I'm about 8.4k gear score in here. Everyone else is about 7k gear score. We're starting off on my Wave Meteor. You see Flame Hail Spear goes down. He also has Wraith down. And very clean. Charms are going out. And one thing I forgot to mention, he is the melee. He is also playing with the Sundering Earth that causes increased damage. So on his pool, he's doing Flame Hail Spear, which has the delay, Vicious Implosion, and then he's doing the Sunder that increases our damage. So make sure and like the more damage boost you have, the better it is. Alright, so now in between waves, I have the Noryette ring on. I have a tier 2 version of it. And by maintaining actually let it fall off there. But by using abilities, it stacks up the ring. You can see it right here. I'm restacking it. And the early phases, it's not really that big of a deal. It's quite simple. One of the mechanics for that boss is when he puts his shield up, he actually absorbs damage and gets healed from it. But if you can actually just CC him, and then, that breaks the shield. But you can see that I'm maintaining my ring stack here. This is the only place where the stacks for ring and hearing actually even work. It's like a hidden passive on it. Alright, so for me, it's very simple, just Wave Meteor. The healer just charms. Okay. Alright, so this one I'm going to just replay it so we can focus mostly on the melee here. And we're going to watch and see exactly what he does. So here comes the Wave Meteor. And he starts off with the Flame Hail Spears, Vicious Implosion, and then he does this buff right here. That's the one inside of Battle Rage that increases all CC duration. And he also applies the Sunder that increases damage, and that's that debuff right there. And so the mob actually uses Defiance right there. But at that point, he's kind of dead. Now, there is one thing. This boss does a snipe ability. Your healer needs to watch out for it. If you can't kill the boss in the opener with a CC chain, then your healer needs to watch out for it and make sure you mana barrier the person getting sniped, or else a good chance he will actually die. Alright, so this pool, it's not perfect, but we do end up killing it, no problem. On this boss though, if for some reason your damage output isn't that great, I've heard of people killing the boss first before the ads, and you can also, when he turns into a frog, he takes massive damage, Make sure you have your AoEs ready for that. Another thing, that boss has Counter-Strike mode. If your CC is not really that great, then the boss will actually start like one-shotting you during his reflect mode. And it does work off dots, so if you have like the lightning debuff on the mob or fire debuff on the mob, he's just gonna one-shot you if he's not CC'd. So best to do this like just perfectly with the CC, charm, meteors, and just get through all the mechanics. So this one, this pool wasn't that clean. But as you can see, we have pretty good CC. If you look real quick, our melee, Ray, he's over here. He's sitting in a pot. The healer needs to watch for that and make sure you cleanse it, or else they will die. Unfortunately, our healer was still spec'd for library because we did a library run right before this, so he wasn't spec'd into the cleanse, so he actually just sits in the pot. And the other thing too, lunch break, he's self-healing. You need to make sure you CC that one. Also, if you can kill the mobs before the timer up here, which is 2 minutes from the time you click the gong, you actually get to skip all the trash phases. So if you're either slow or you wipe on it, then you're going to have to do the trash phases, the single digit numbers instead of skipping 5 at a time. So you definitely want to try and, make sure the pulls are as smooth as possible. Alright, so here's wave 30. And this guy is a DPS check. He is also the last boss that most pugs will do. If you can clear wave 30, then you get a guaranteed piece of jewelry. Also, after 30, at level 35, it starts to get like really hard, and we can go over it. So that's the Counter-Strike mode. He does a cast and then channel after that, and that's what you want to CC. If he gets the channel off, if I have a lightning debuff on him, he will one-shot me. We actually let him always cast the Storm Flute. We just get out of it and just DPS him through it. He takes half damage, but this boss doesn't really like self-heal unless he's doing the Counter-Strike mode. So no, it's not too bad to just like let him do it. All right, and now here is wave 35. This one is like the gatekeeper of the noobs. Your CC'er has to be perfect, and this is wherever you really have to start picking up your flame hell spears. It's honestly better to like get used to it early on, but your CC has to be perfect. You at this stage you can no longer vicious implosion into a base hell spear. It doesn't work anymore. Even one global cooldown, if these mobs get a one global cooldown off, you will wipe. I believe it's a Skull Knight back here. He drops a flag on the ground, and anytime one of the mobs in that in the circle, there's a circle around the flag. Whenever that gets dropped, it's reflect damage, so your DPS will one-shot themselves. So you have to make sure that CC is perfect, and Flame Hell Spheres make sure that it is perfect. We'll just play through it. A couple mechanics. First of all, the flag you need to make sure you take care of. You want to kill all the trash mobs as soon as possible. Everything has to die immediately, and then plague, not really that big of a deal. The boss will do splitting right here. So that splitting has to either be CC'd or it needs to be, you need to leech off his metal stacks, or else that person will 100% die. So if you look, the next mechanic is you look, after we kill the mobs, they don't fully die yet. They go into coffins, and they'll actually come back to life. So the goal is to kill the side mobs and the boss, and then they come back to life one at a time, and you kill them as they come back to life. Right here, we don't have the damage set up, and it's fine. We don't actually kill the boss. When I go back in the next time, I will actually spec, a true DPS spec, rather than playing, an AoE grinding spiritualist. Alright, and then here is the second attempt. So, Wave Meteor, Charm, Vicious, the Wraith, everything. And just not doing quite enough damage yet. And one of the things is, if you can actually get past this boss here, you see he's like, we got him down to like 16%. So like if I was a more DPS spec like a fanatic or a specter, or if I had an honor and a dodge or anything like that, a couple things, you could actually boost up my damage so we could get past it. But once you get past wave 35, uh, the bosses actually get a little bit easier. Wave 40 is a DPS check. Wave 45 really isn't that hard. And then wave 50 is actually kind of a pain, to be honest. It's the second boss that actually takes mechanics and rather than just having pretty good gear and like coordination and killing things. But yeah, that's it. So basically wave 30, that's when you get your jewelry guaranteed. That's when most bugs stop. And then 45 and 50, those are the two waves needed if you want to, if you're actually wearing your library gear and you want to put your Lunafrost on them. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps, especially with like new people. And I really want to focus on like the whole melee, because the healer and the mage quite simple. It's the melee that is going to be the hardest learning curve. Blood Reavers, especially the CC Blood Reaver, is a bit different from like your Dark Runner and stuff like that. And the Flame Heal Spears, um, it's just something people aren't used to playing with too. They don't understand the timing of it. But anyways, I hope this helps, and hope you guys get to progress in Noryette, and I'll see you later.